Hey, let's check out the Sky Mirror. Sky Mirror Astrology. That's what it's called at the App Store. Get it and start doing real astrology. Yeah, it's okay, if you want to do natal chart stuff, find out why your love life is so strange, go ahead, look up your Venus, see what squares or trines at what sign it's in, what house it's in. You can find out all about your secret desire life. But I don't think that's real worthwhile. Long term, what you want is to be able to know when to start things, whether it's a phone call or a trip or just to start frying a steak. Yeah, once you're good at it, oh boy, great fun. Well, we're going to go after the first week in November here and see what's coming up for you. Mercury goes direct on November 10th, about 11 a.m. And, good time for writing, teaching, talking, new ideas. Sunday, 11 a.m., the 10th. There's some other things happening too. Jupiter, for instance, is stopping. And Jupiter throws lightning bolts of truth. Oh boy, there he is at 20 degrees of Cancer. He's stationing on November 6th at 7:04 p.m. And, it's going to get stronger and stronger, these new ideas, this aha, now I see it clear. That's what Jupiter really provides. Now there's some very interesting stuff going on, because when Mercury stopped up here and went retrograde, it was at 20 degrees of Scorpio, trining Jupiter. Now it's coming back and stopping, and it's going to go forward again, and in a week or so it'll hit 20 degrees, and a lot of the aha, now I see it clear, you will be communicating, talking out, settling down. So there's a lot of wisdom going around, a lot of natural knowing, huh? And it's getting kind of sexy too, because here's Mars. Mars is 10 to 16 Virgo, and Venus, the next half of your next week, is going into Capricorn. So it's kind of social. You notice that there's a bunch of sextiles here. In fact, Neptune sextile Pluto, Venus sextile Saturn, the Sun, Mercury sextile Mars, sextile Jupiter. Wow, all these guys are kind of working together. Except for this one. He's left out. It's the union, it's the environment, it's astrology. When I think about it, here I am clear back, 30 years ago in print, and trying really hard to make a living. And it was tough. Everybody talks sun sign astrology is very difficult. And now we just barely, I got past that, and I realized that the public hasn't. And they're still doing personal chart astrology. That's, people lie. You can't even get somebody to tell you what they ate yesterday. So people are not good to analyze, even if you have a really good chart. They won't admit to a lot of stuff. Well, let's see what it looks like day by day. We're going to run the moon around the edge here of the planetary pattern and see what pops up. If you're on the Thursday show, the moon's in the crash zone here. It's in early Libra and opposing Uranus and squaring Pluto, and you're getting twirlies still. And I should mark it in. This is probably the last of it. Say, what happened to the hurricanes? They're having little hurricanes. They're having little tornadoes on Oahu all the time now in the midst of their weather tribulations. So there's a lot of downspouts, they call them, water spouts over there. That's what these things are too. Maybe that's all we'll get. We ought to see some off Kona, though, if it's placed the way I thought. Anyway, turbulent Thursday happens especially in the evening. Probably the astrology show won't come on. I can tell you stories. Oh boy. Anyway, the moon's in Libra on Friday, November 1st. There's a square to Jupiter in the afternoon, and we're all overdoing it. But the good news is there's a nice sextile to Venus late Friday night. Be with someone you love. Beauty, love, sex. It all feels kind of good. The moon in Libra, with a nice sextile to Venus. Kind of sweet. Gets complicated on Saturday the 2nd because Scorpio has got Saturn there. So, sober. It's also got Mercury, which is going backwards. So, your Saturday starts, you're going to have a leftover Venus, love, sex, beautiful stuff. And that transitions to the trine to Neptune, which is basically music, art, religion, church, sensitivity, color, beautiful stuff. Then it hits the North Node Saturday night. And everybody's feeling like they're being nurtured. That's quite nice. And as you go late Saturday night, there's a sextile to Pluto. We feel powerful. Sextile to Mars. Everybody's getting kind of randy. There's a lot of testosterone around. Yeah. Can't help it. The thing is, there's that new moon. It's right here. The new moon's at 11 Scorpio. It's actually an eclipse. And I wrote down Sunday, 1 a.m. in the morning. It's an eclipse at 11 Scorpio. And very powerful. So, if you're with somebody you love here on Saturday and you go to church together and you get your plans together, that eclipse early Sunday morning is a good time to be with somebody. But don't get too radical. You got to wait and see how these things work out. Sometimes the stuff that you get started on an eclipse just fades right out. They don't last. Eclipses change things, take things away. And this one's near Saturn. So this one could be kind of a tough eclipse, 11 to 14, and only 3 degrees off Saturn. You're going to feel the Saturn here about dinner time. The moon goes by that planet in Scorpio, and it all gets more sober and more timely, and we're all concerned about the money and the time, and it's not all that bad though, because there is a trine to Jupiter that shows up here at 20 degrees. That's Sunday night after dinner, and we'll find it. We'll find the money. Don't worry, it's a good plan. Now this is Saturn in Scorpio working together with Jupiter in Cancer, both water signs. These guys are Republicans, Saturn, and Democrats, Jupiter. They're supposed to be working together here. You wouldn't know it from what happens in the U.S., but they're supposed to be working together. And Sunday night, some reasonably earthy deals could be made. Maybe something involving water would be nice. Well, Monday, by the time you wake up, the moon is shifted into Sagittarius. It gets confusing as you approach the square to Neptune, which happens Monday afternoon, November 4th. And you lose things, and there's difficulties with liquids. And what did he say about the oil? What did they say about the ocean animals? Clears up a bit, but not till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. There's a nice sextile to Uranus, and science and the mind triumphs, and maybe you get a real glimpse of real astrology. We've been misled. When I think about all the hours I spent on personality analysis and dumb things at astrology that weren't pertinent at all, I could have been, sharpening other tools here for much more worthy endeavors. Anyway, so I'm a little ticked off here. You will be too, Tuesday morning. There's a square to Mars. I'm in a hurry, I gotta go. And yet here's the alarm, and here's the telephone in the middle of the night. There's things going on here that well, ask yourself what you're protecting Tuesday. This is not a good time for your road rage, even though you might feel a little bit like it. Wednesday morning, the moon shifts into Capricorn, and you're in the Venus zone, and it's sexy. Capricorn is a very sexy sign. You ever been around any goats? Yeah, it's very randy and capricious. lots of time, but it's a very sexual sign. And here, right away, after you hit the Venus zone, there's a sextile to Neptune. So a glass of wine, a loaf of bread, and thou with me under the bough. Anyway, pretty nice Wednesday. I hope you're in the pleasure zone and you have somebody with you. Thursday, things get a little different. Here's the turbulent zone. Actually, the turbulent zone happens Wednesday night. As the moon goes by Pluto, it squares Uranus. So your pleasure zone, if you're going to have it, it's going to be the first half of Wednesday. The second half of Wednesday, things start to happen. The alarms, the Pluto, the panic, the glitch, the wind. Yeah. It's creeping back into Wednesday night. This Uranus-Pluto square, it's been annoying us for so many months. The moon sets it off once a week when the moon hits early cardinal signs. And that point slips back one day every month. So you remember a couple months ago it was ruining your Saturdays and then Fridays. And the last few hits were on Thursdays. And now it's inching back into Wednesday night. So here's your glitch zone. And it's the connectors. The battery's gone. What happened? I'm stuck. It's Thursday morning. Here, however, is a sextile to Mars. And by golly, it's a trine. The heroes are out. And they're going to help the pretty girls. And there's a nice sextile to the Sun. And we're going to get the job done after all, yes. In fact, you might be so successful Thursday that you can't stop. And here Thursday night about 10, 11 o'clock on the 7th, here's that, you're overdoing it. It's an opposition to Jupiter. Too much. Thursday night, yeah. Friday morning, the moon's still in Capricorn, nice and settling till you get past the middle of the day. Then it shifts into Aquarius, and things do mellow out a little bit, even though Friday night there's a nasty square to Mercury and trouble communicating and transportating. Saturday morning, though, there's a sextile to Uranus, and the higher mind is working, and the technical tools, the batteries, the electricals, it all feels better. We're going to get it done. But wait a minute, there's a slowdown. In the afternoon, the moon squares Saturn from Aquarius. Ugh, no money. Depression. Can't get things done. Square to the Sun. Saturday night. I'm glad I didn't go out and try to get things done. No. Sunday, the moon's still in Pisces for most of your day, and you're going to feel that slowdown and the money and the worries and stuff pretty much all morning. Once it shifts into Pisces, though, the moon will hit this Neptune, Mercury thing. That's about dinner time here. And as soon as you feel the moon in Pisces, it'll become more easygoing and adjustable, and there'll be music and art and kids and fun, and it's a much better Sunday afternoon. So this is not the time for the party on Saturday. Everybody late and broke. No, more better you do them Sunday afternoon, huh? Well, that's a rundown on the week for you. Jupiter, of course, is the big news. When Jupiter stops on the 6th, at 7:04, look for some lightning bolts of truth. Yep, he'll be there. He always produces, old Jupiter does.